Greetings. Here's a poem by Mary Oliver called The First Time Percy Came Back. Percy was one of her beloved dogs. The first time Percy came back, he wasn't sailing on a cloud. He was loping along the sand as though he'd come a long way. "Percy," I called out and reached to him. Those white curls. But he was unreachable. As music is present, yet you can't touch it. "Yes," he said, "it's very different. You're going to be very surprised." But I wasn't interested in that. I just wanted to hold him. "Listen," he said, "I miss that too. And now you're going to tell stories about my coming back. And they won't be false, and they won't be true. But they will be real." And then he said, as he used to, "Let's go." And we walked down the beach together. Come and do some yoga. We'll begin on the backs. Knees bent, about hip width apart. And even when you do that with the knees bent, you'll feel there's a little gap under the waist. There's an arch in the lower back. So you can feel that shelf, which is your sacrum. And you try and put the 2 feet so that they make a nice isosceles triangle between the 2 heels and the sacrum, or the base of the spine. And then just softly you open your arms and take them by your ears. You're very welcome to leave them beside you if your shoulders are problematic. And just notice how when you do that, if you do that, the arch is slightly more exaggerated, but also that if you squeeze the belly down, you can flatten that arch completely and do a little press into the feet as well. That's the exhale. And then as you breathe in, you can arch the back again and feel your spine rolling toward your heels. And as you exhale, you can push down the middle and push into the feet and feel the spine squeezing into the floor. Inhale, arching up. Exhale, flattening down. So when you inhale, you're creating space in the front of the spine as all those vertebrae move, and as you exhale, you're opening up the back of the spine. Everything in yoga is about the harmony. The front and the back. The left and the right. The outer and the inner. Use the Ujjayi breath when you breathe out. A little pressure in the throat that you'll hear very softly. So the next time you're breathing out, you're going to lift your arms and push through the space as you push down the middle and lighten the feet. And then as you float open the arms, you arch the back very lightly. So there's a great gap under your waist. And when you breathe out, you push and squeeze flat the middle and push a little bit into the feet. And then as you inhale, you lighten the hands, lighten the feet, arch the back. And exhale, push and flatten. And inhale, float up. And stay there. And lift the right foot and push a little bit into the left one. And hold. And hold. And release. And push into the right foot and lift the left one. and hold, and hold, and release, and right lifts, breath smooth, and down and left lifts, anchor the other foot a bit, and gently down. And then lift both feet and slowly roll flat your middle. So your coccyx is lifting up a little bit. And you can drop your chin a little bit more closely into your collarbone and soften your toes. Let the toes touch perhaps. And then lift your arms and embrace your legs, interlacing your hands, gripping your elbows close, feeling everything very small and contained. If you want to lift your head, you do so. If you don't, you don't. And lower the head. And release the hands and slide down the shins and hold on to your ankles or the front of your feet and drop your heels down to the floor or just your toes, whichever feels right. And then lift your bottom and reach your knees forward and arch your back, rolling the shoulder blades one at a time, walking them toward your heels, slowly lengthening the vertebra, particularly behind the neck. Really firm grip with the hands, firm and even pressure in the 2 feet, and a soft face. And then you can release your hands and lift them up and take the palms together, squeeze and reach down the shoulder blades and carefully peel down the waist. And release and open the knees and take the feet together and relax the legs. You'll feel the arch in the back. And then bend your elbows. Soften down your hands. Take the elbows to the floor and the hands can rest on the thighs or wherever else they want to rest. They can be above the head if you like. And just feel that for a moment. Everything letting go. And then the right knee is just going to move up so the left knee can settle down. And feel that for a couple of breaths. And then open the right knee and take the left one up. The right one settles down. Couple of breaths. And then left down and right up. Couple of breaths. And right down, left up. Couple of breaths. And then 2 knees up, lift the feet, hold the ankles, lift the head, ground the feet, arch and roll the back. Feel the strength. Beautiful physical strength. With a light breath. And then you can, as before, just release your hands, lift them up, interlace, reach into the shoulder blades, lift your pubic bone a little bit, push into the feet, peel down the back, and release the arms, take them down beside you, put the right knee on top of the left knee, so you cross the legs, and then the arms can be wide. And then we take the 2 knees over to the right, just let them fall over and the head drops to the left. And then lift up and take the 2 knees to the left and the head drops to the right. And lifting up and the 2 knees to the right. head to the left. Really twisting the back. And then the two knees up. And the knees to the left, head to the right. Look after your neck and shoulders. When you stay, it should get better. If it doesn't, you've gone a bit too hard. Come back to the centre and reverse the legs. So the other one on top. And then the two knees to the left and head to the right. And the two knees to the right, head to the left. And two knees to the left, head to the right. And two knees to the right, head to the left. And back to the centre and release the feet. And straighten your left leg and lift your right foot and interlace your hands around your right knee and squeeze it close, taking it over a little bit to your left shoulder. You can use your hands however you want to do that. And then take it over to the right shoulder and to the left. Try to keep the shoulders down and to the right. And back to the centre and lengthen that right knee, but don't let go of it. Flex the feet, lift the head, and then lift the left leg and see if you can roll effortlessly up to sit. And draw that right heel in and press into it. And maybe bring your chin onto your right knee and your right hand could hold onto the left leg and the left hand could hold onto the right elbow or something similar. And then grow a bit tall in the spine. And you might be able to just reach to hold the toes on the left foot. Let it settle, let it simmer. You think of the difference in the soup before you've cooked it. You've chopped up all the vegetables and they're all in the pot. And then when it's cooked, it's totally different. This happens a little bit like this in the yoga. And then we'll just release and roll down, straightening the legs, palms to the ceiling, completely let go. Shavasana. See how the body responds after the posture. Releasing all those wonderful endorphins. You can feel them swimming through you like little tiny fish. The more you let go, the more they'll feel confident to swim. Now bend your left knee and draw it toward you, toward your right armpit or shoulder. And then toward the left one. And the right one. And the left. And right. And left. And back to the centre. And squeeze and lift the face. And lower the head. And bring the knee forward and flex the feet. And lift the right leg and pull yourself up. Bringing the heel really close. And holding on to that left leg with your arms. Holding them however you want to. I'm just holding my elbows on this side. And maybe you can reach and hold on to this right big toe. And the left hand maybe could hold on to the upper arm. I notice mine are very different on the two sides. Yours probably are too. Just stay a bit. Let it cook. Let it simmer. And then release and open your left knee. We stroke the right shin. And stroke the right shin. And squeeze the clay. Wedge the clay. Notice where it's tight. Maybe turning a little bit is good. And then we will turn to face the left knee. Put your right hand on your left knee and your left arm behind you, and we lift up and arch the back. Beautiful, graceful posture. Light as light. Light as light. And gently down. And straighten the legs and lie on the back. Palms to the ceiling. Completely let go. Just feel the floating. Feel the light. Feel the fire in the belly, which you need in these summer days. Then again, bend your knees and hold your ankles and ground your feet and arch your back. If you can't reach your ankles, you can always hold the sides of the mat. Then as you release your arms and take them up, you can bring your palms together, interlace, and as you roll down your back, you can lift your head and you may find that you can sit up without any rocking at all. And just come up as tall and light and even left and right as you can. We'll just take the feet a little bit, like the windscreen wipers, from left to right. And of course, from right to left. Come back to the center, bend your elbows. Middle of the chest with the prayer. Draw your sternum toward your thumbs toward your throat. Your sitting bones pressing evenly left and right together. And then we bend the right knee out to the right and start to stroke the left shin. Wedging the clay. Use your hands. The body likes to be touched. And then turn to the right knee. Put your left hand on your right knee, your right arm behind. Press into the floor, lift up and arch on this side. Keep the pelvis light. Keep the back arched. Look to where your left hand is reaching. Feel the buoyancy of the breath. And then gently down with the bottom. Releasing the legs. And this time you're going to bend your left knee and place your left foot beside your right thigh. And take your right arm and bend it and hold onto your left knee and squeeze it close. And anchor your two sitting bones and open your right hand and put your left arm behind. So walk it into position. Make sure you're not leaning back or leaning forward. Rotating the middle. Keep the hips facing front. Keep the shoulders level if you can. It's all as best as you can. And then turn your head. And breathe. Let the in-breath stretch the spine from the navel in two directions. That's up and down. Like pulling a piece of elastic. Let the out-breath turn a bit, twist a bit more. The chest away from the hips. The head away from the shoulders. They balance each other. The in-breath is the lengthening. The out-breath is the twisting. And gently release. Turn back to the front and put your left foot beside your right thigh. So the left knee is sitting on top of the right knee and the hands can interlace around the left knee and you can look up. Squeeze the hands, push into the floor, arch the back. Get it level if you can. And maybe take your arms behind and lengthen the elbows. Open the shoulders, lift the face. And release. And swap sides. So the right knee is coming beside the left thigh and you're turning to the right, putting your right arm down behind you, opening your left hand strongly, turning your head to the right. Feeling the breath in and the breath out. And then releasing and putting the right knee on top of the left one. Interlacing and lengthening. And then the arms can come back and you can arch the back. And releasing that leg, we lie again on the backs. And let go. Completely let go. And then again bend the knees. Lift the feet, lift the head, hold the ankles, arch the back. And release the hands, lift the arms, reach into the shoulder blades. Draw the pubic bone toward you. Lift the head and come to sit up. And forward. Over the legs. And roll back. And up. And forward and back and forward. And then we're going to come onto the knees. Virasana. The hands in front, arching the back and folding forward, rounding into the child posture. Relaxing your arms and your legs. Your left and your right. And then uncurling and sliding a bit to the left with the bottom, turning to the right, holding onto the right leg. Whatever you can reach, knee, ankle, shin, foot, or even further is fine. Feel that? And then back to the centre. Sit a bit, wriggle a bit, snuggle a bit, soften a bit. Over to the right, turning to the left leg, holding, squeezing, lengthening the back, turning the head. And back to the centre. And then we're going to slide the arms forward to the corner of the mat and step into the downward facing dog. So stretch your hands, stretch your feet, stretch your legs, stretch your elbows, lighten your middle, lower your knees, lower your elbows, interlace your hands and come onto your front. And just lean into your elbows to lighten your middle, looking straight ahead. And then lean into your elbows and look underneath. And arch and look up. Inhale. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. And then we'll bend the right knee, and the right hand can hold onto the right ankle. Flex the foot. And release. And drop the legs down. Drop the head, hang a bit. Arch, look up. Round, look underneath. Release, right arm in front, left knee bends, left hand holds left ankle, flexing the foot. And then releasing. Coming onto the belly and bending both knees and holding both ankles. Head on the floor. Mindful of the cramping. So you flex your feet and you push your feet to the ceiling until your knees lift from the floor. Then lower your knees, release your hands, bring them forward. Elbows by the waist, hands under the ears, forward to the floor, cobra. The other half of the bend. And down, putting a lot of pressure into the mat. Through the hands. Head comes down, bend the knees. Relax the feet. Rotate. Reverse. Still. Lower. And another cobra. A soft one. This is like an evening cobra, not a morning one. And softly down. And then again you can bend your knees and hold your ankles. Minding the cramping. Flexing the feet, lifting the knees, and then you can lift the chest into the bow. And down. And drop the arms, drop the legs and the arms. Turn your face to one side. And let the fire settle down. You can't do a bow without a lot of effort. So you give your body permission to huff and puff a bit, if it needs to. And then allow yourself to float on your breath. And marvel, perhaps, at how quickly it is able to resume its former speed. And then we'll try the other side. Letting go. Noticing where it pulls without fighting the pull. See how smooth you can make your breath. And then gently release, bring your arms forward. Put on your glasses if you've taken them off. And let's come onto hands and knees. And just let the navel hang like a drop earring right under your navel, a heavy one. Look a little forward. Curl the toes. And then push into the hands and lift and straighten the legs. And slowly push back. So your anus is trying to touch the wall behind you. And your ankles have to relax to accommodate that. Your hamstrings need to warm and smooth and lighten. And gradually your neck will feel confident and safe enough to relax and then draw itself perhaps toward your feet. You may notice, as I did then, that the feet are a bit crooked. They should be in the same line. Bending your right knee, just reach into your left heel and then slowly drop down your right knee and take it back and straighten. And bend the left knee. Take the left knee down toward the floor. Just as it touches, you can bring it back again. Exhale, bend right. Inhale, up. Exhale, bend left. Inhale, right. Walking your hands slowly to your feet. And standing on your feet. So lift up the toes and press the toes into maybe just the fingers. So you can bend at the knuckles with the hands. The thumbs are facing in toward each other. And you push and pull. Bringing your navel forward toward your knees. And softening your anus, your sitting bones, and your pelvic floor. Then release your hands and walk back. Try to keep your heels down for as long as you can. Then you can bring your knees almost to the floor and then come forward. All the way to the floor is better. Flatten the feet or just bring the pelvis forward and do an up dog. And drop the knees and take the bottom back. Curl the toes and do a down dog. Take the knees down. Flatten the feet. Pelvis forward, lift the knees, push into the arms, look up. Drop the knees, bottom back. Curl the toes. Stretch the legs. Now feet further back. So we can do a vinyasa. So it's very similar. The heels lift the knees. The knees don't go quite to the floor because you're going to lift your head and slowly come forward and pull over the knees and lift up. And then push into the hands, roll over the toes and reach back with the heels. And then bring your right foot between your thumbs and your left foot to follow. And your bottom reaches up and your hands reach down. And your face looks in. You feel two circles, they're your heels. And maybe two circles of the heels of the hands. And then bending the knees, lifting the arms. Find a comfortable place for your bottom to sit with the knees bent. The bottom sticks out in the back. The arms come together in front, long arms. Reaching up, pointing the index finger. chair. And then straighten the legs. Lift the pubic bone forward, the sternum up, the chin up, the heels down, arch back, and release. And stand. Tadasana, the standing posture. Bend the knees a little bit so you can really feel the feet. And then as you straighten the knees, keep reaching down. So you're stretching the legs, but softening the buttocks. And feeling the spine lengthen as though it had a mind of its own. And the hands lengthen to match. Be fully present into the back. And notice how that changes your perception. Opens your awareness. Lightens your breath. You're lifting the arms on the in-breath. Follow with your gaze, interlace your hands, push the ceiling straight up. Push the heels down, solid between the two, and then the head forward, keeping the arms still. The shoulders back. The elbows as straight as you can manage them. If you've got dodgy shoulders, it's hard, I know. And then bend your knees, but keep reaching up. And then take your bottom back so we move into an angle. It's a bit more than 45 degrees. Stretching into your ankles, knees are touching if you can. Then we're coming down onto the elbows with the thumbs to the chin, the feet evenly together. And then the left elbow beside the right knee, we rotate to the right and back. And the right elbow to the left knee, rotate to the left and back. We then reach into the chair and stand and reach back. And open. And standing where you are, or moving to face a wall, it's up to you. We're going to put the fingers on the wall and just lift the heels. And hold. Release the wall if you want to. Hold if you prefer the security of that. Slowly lower. And stand a moment feeling, perhaps with the eyes closed, that lightness of being. Putting the right hand on the wall, you're going to bend the left knee and hold on to the left ankle. And then you reach your left heel into the room and take your right arm up and away from the wall if you want to. Touching is fine. Into the dancer. Gently let go and stand a moment still, feeling the effect. The spirit of that. Don't let the trunk collapse. Keep it upright. In that effortless sort of way, that is yoga. And then you can put the left hand on the wall and hold on to the right ankle or foot and take the right heel back. Reaching up with the left arm all the way or just off the wall is fine. Arching. And when you're ready, releasing. And feeling an opening as you stand. Almost as if you double in size, not in weight, in presence. Feel the arch in the lower back. You maintain that as best as you can, as often as you can. And then come to the front of your mats. And we'll salute the sun. So reaching down with the hands, reaching into the feet, we inhale and lift the arm. Prayer position, fold forward and down. Squeeze into your knees. Push into your feet. Look forward a little bit so you can see the front of your mat. Ground your hands. Step your left foot way back. And another step if you need to. Into the dog. We'll stretch the dog out. Left leg stretches out. And back. Right leg stretches out. And back. Holding the dog. Then you can lift your heels and drop your knees and lift your head and bend your elbows and straighten your legs and pull over your toes and lift the face to the ceiling and push into the hands and up with the pelvis and over the toes and reach back, adjusting if you need to the position of your feet and holding the dog. And a little forward with the left knee and back. And a little forward with the right knee and back. And settle. Feel the sacrum. It's like a little bent index finger, like a little knuckle. Lift your head, bring your left foot forward and your right to follow. Stretch up the legs. They don't have to be straight. Squeeze close. Bend the knees. Float the hands. Palms together. Strong grip. Tall chair. Beautiful, elegant chair. Not a chunky one. And then rising, arching, gazing, back, and opening, broadening, glowing, warming, absorbing, enjoying this moment of your yoga practice. Again, you feel the back. We'll do the next salute with the mind in the back more than in the front. So we inhale, and you feel your back folding forward and down. You feel the face lift, the hands ground the right leg back, and again the sun on the back. On the buttocks, on the back of the buttocks, on the back of the thighs, the back of the knees, the back of the neck. Let your calves stretch. Just try to straighten your knees if you can. And then lift your heels and bend your knees. Lift your face, bend your elbows, come forward, pull over the toes, lift up. Push into the hands, over the toes and back. Settling. Breathing. Relaxing. Your breath, right foot forward, left foot follows. Bottom stretches up. Folding over. Knees are bending. Forward with the arms reaching. Staying. Arching. Opening. Standing. Closing your eyes even as you open every pore of your skin. Again, we lift up and glide smoothly forward and down. And then stepping the left foot back into the dog. And knee forward and back, that's the left one. And right forward and back. Then heels up and knees down. And face up and elbows bend as you straighten the knees, pushing into your toes and pulling over them with your hands, over the toes and back. And settling. Bringing your right foot between your thumbs and your left knee to the floor. Sinking into the dragon. Lifting up. Reaching tall. Prayer position, down. Drop the head. Move your right foot over a little bit to the right and a little bit forward. Put your right arm inside that right leg. And come down, if you can, onto your elbows. Interlacing the hands together and maybe opening the right foot a bit, lifting the inside of the foot a bit into the gecko posture. And then when you release it, it's a bit tricky to get out of. You need to do some adjustments. Bring that foot back on the mat, curl the toe in the back and step back to the dog. Knees to the floor, flatten the feet, walking the hands back, sitting in Virasana. Hands behind, arching. The gecko is quite strong. A little turn in the child perhaps. And then again you're going to reach forward, hands to the corners of the mat, curl the toes into downward facing dog. I'm finally starting to warm up. Then lift the heels and bend the knees, lift the face, bend the elbows forward, over the toes and up, push into the hands, over the toes and back. And a stretch with one leg and down, and a stretch with the other leg and down. And now it's the left foot forward between the thumbs and the right knee to the floor into the dragon. All legs, childs. Very much anchored to the earth and of course to the head. So we're lifting up and reaching. And down slowly. And settle. And then move your left side of the mat and a bit further forward. You can come onto your elbows. The right arm comes inside the left leg. You're sliding onto your elbows. You can put blocks under instead, or a blanket, or pillows, or a bolster. And you can open the foot a bit on this side if you want to. You listen to your body, it's talking to you. It's not saying it doesn't want to do this or that, it's giving you sensations. And you listen to them. And then we'll release and come back, however you want to, into your dog. Moving your left heel in toward your right foot. Your right foot's going to step between your thumbs and we'll stand up facing the front, the side, my front, your sides. Toes tipped in, buttocks a little bit rounded back. Left arm's lifting. Start off vertical and then bring it across. Push evenly into the feet, tilt the waist. Turn your head to the left, looking past your elbow to the wall beside you. Slowly open, feel that. Left side, stand a moment. Level shoulders, level hips, level ankles. Right arm's up. Reaching over to the left, straight line. Put your left hand on your left hip if you want to. Turn to the right, looking past the elbow to the wall beside. Open, left, looking to the left, bending to the right. One side's much easier than the other. Opening, right, bending. Use your legs. Keep them strong. Opening. Hands behind the thighs, bottom reaches back. Hands slide down to the knees. Toes turn in a bit. Hold your knees, look forward. Bend your elbows, take your belly toward your thighs. And straighten, pushing into your knees. Inhale. Exhale, dip. Inhale, push. Exhale, deep. And release carefully your hands to place them under your shoulders. Legs can be wider if it's too difficult to find the floor with the legs narrower. Spread your fingers, push into your hands, spread your toes, push into your feet. Reach your left arm forward. Try to keep your hips level. Lower. Right arm forward. Mindful of dodgy shoulders. And back. Settle. Bend your elbows. Hang your head. Release your arms. Take them to the floor. Allowing yourself to hang. If you want to, you can interlace your hands behind your head, bring your elbows close together, and reach your elbows down to the floor. If you want to, you could also hold your elbows, hanging the elbows down toward the floor. If you would just want to flop your hands onto the floor if you can also hold on to the ankles if you want to. You can have a little bit of an experiment with all these. At the moment I'm issues with my back, I've got to be very careful with the wide legs. And then you come back onto your hands and walk to the right, bringing the left knee to the floor and lunging forward. And then coming all the way back to sit on your left heel with your arms beside. Then you slide a little bit to the left, so you're now sitting on the mat, and you can leave things as they are, or you can bend the front knee and put the foot beside the left thigh. Embrace with your left arm, right arm goes back. Push down, rotate. Open the left hand. Look over your right shoulder. And release. Straighten the legs. Come onto the back. Lift the feet. Hold the knees and pull them apart. Slowly forward with the legs, rolling over the sacrum, letting your toes hang to the floor. Lift the head, release the legs, knees together. Embrace. Sitting up. This time it's going to be the right knee underneath and the left foot by the right thigh, and the right arm embraces the left knee. Right hand spreading open, right elbow squeezing. Left hand can squeeze the right foot underneath or push down, it's nice, you get leverage. Right elbow is squeezing the knee to the right armpit, and the left hand is pushing the foot into the floor. Then looking back and feeling the two sitting bones. And then releasing. Bringing one heel in front and the other one to match. If you want to, you can put something under your bottom. It can be a pillow or a blanket. I've got a block here I might use. If you're having issues with your back or your hips, feel free to use props. It just makes it a bit easier. So the one heel comes in and the other one in front. And the hands on the knees. And then you spread open the hands. And we take thumb to first finger and release. Thumb to second and release. Thumb to third, release. Thumb to fourth, release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Release. Sit a moment. Feel that space behind you. And now swap the legs. So the other foot goes in first, the second foot, and the other one in front. Again, look out for knees and hips and backs. And sit again, not so much the sagging or the stiff. It's very hard to relax when you're stiff, but this light spine. And this time the backs of the hands go together. So the little fingers will be to the ceiling. And then we're going to move the little ones and the next and the next and the next, and the thumbs stay connected. And then you bring in your fingers toward you and join the fingers together under your chin. And then you turn over. So again, the backs of the hands are facing each other, and we peel. 1, 2, 3, 4, thumbs stay connected, and then the fingers join again under the chin. And the moment you close your eyes and feel that, and then release, a little shake maybe. And then palms facing forward, pressing into your knees, lifting your chest, arching your back. Reach as if you had a tail behind you like the kangaroos, reaching along the floor behind you. It's heavy. It's supporting your spine. And you push your wrists into your knees and lift your chest. And see if you can hold the chest lifted without impeding any breathing. All it does is moves the breath from up here down here. You can really feel that diaphragm. The diaphragm's like a skin, the top of the base of the rib cage. When you inhale, it's drawn down. When you exhale, it's pushed up. If you want to have your palms facing you, you're welcome. If you want to do a chin mudra, you're welcome. And you just take about 10 breaths here. And when you've finished, just release the mudra or release the hands, sit a moment, and it's time for Shavasana relaxation. Use a bolster or blankets or pillows, whatever you've got, to go under your knees, under your head, under your waist. Make sure you're warm enough. I might lie down for this, my back is playing up a bit. Lift your head and check your feet are even. It's easy to have them crooked. Lower your head. A pillow underneath if you want it. Bend your elbows and take your hands in toward your sternum and make sure the tall fingers are just meeting at the sternum. Then your arms will be probably in the right place. And then you can release your arms, just let the wrists drop and loosen. And find the comfortable spot for your arms to rest beside you. Close your eyes. Sit with your mind directly under your lids. How does that feel, that spot? It can be quite elusive. But if you can stay for a few breaths, the effect can be quite profound. And gradually feel the edges of your skull disappearing. And yet the mental processes, the brain itself, and the spine that dwells therein are beautifully present. Reminding you of all the different qualities you have. You can hear. You can hear music, you can listen to instruction, poetry, films, radio, theatre, music. You have sight. You can see wonderful paintings, sculptures, frescoes, furniture, castles, museums, ancient relics, your baby's first smile, perhaps. You can feel the relief of the hot shower, the explosion of cold water, of jumping into cold water, the ecstatic feeling of riding down a very steep hill on two wheels, or jumping out of an aeroplane. You feel gratitude to life. That although some bits of you probably don't work as well as they used to, or as well as you would like, an awful lot does. And there is still, even when times are hard, an awful lot of love, an awful lot of joy. Close your lips, not your teeth. Keep your head very still. Let your body become the puppet of your head. Let the singing bowl sound. Until you can't hear it anymore. And then feel your body, almost in spite of the reluctance of your mind, begin to move. Notice those bits that give you grief. See how they're feeling. Notice how they don't give you so much grief if you focus on the other side. Or the front if it's the back, or the back if it's the front. And then find your way into a seated position. And just feel the spine lighten. Have the eyes open. Don't be looking at anything in particular, but just feel the whole room through your soft gaze. The space you can see and the space you have to visualize, the space behind. Feel the space above you. And feel the space on the opposite side of the planet, the world. Close your eyes. And just feel fine threads of breath slipping between the cilia that grow inside the nostrils. Just enough that the cilia seem to move like that waving wheat they talked about in Oklahoma. And thank you. Namaste.